Adult medicine, you all have stacked people. Pediatrics, we work wild schedules. People who've worked adult medicine in the ED, they come to rotate with us in the ICUs and they're like, y'all are working surgeon hours. We get paid crumbs because no one cares about children in this country. And another big thing that I really want to harp on, some people build the schedule based on the months. So there are 12 months, so people say there are 12 rotations. But that's not equal work, again, because we all get paid the same. This is important because let's say over December, you're working in the clinic. Clinic's not gonna meet between Christmas and New Year's because everyone's off. So you get an extra week off if you're in the clinic in December. But that goes unaccounted for. I forgot to mention it as well, 4 weeks vacation. Some programs try to be like, we get a standard 3. Don't believe that. So you get 4 weeks vacation, but that actually in the rule is 20 days off. So if the chief likes you, they're gonna be like, yeah, you can get the weekend before and after your vacation off. If they don't like you, they're gonna make you work the Sunday right before you go on vacation, and you have to come back Saturday for another shift. They can squeeze so much. February has less days in it than December. So the person who's working in the ICU in February has 3 extra days. And I know that it sounds small, but when you're so tired, these small differences make the world. Everyone's working the same. It'll all balance by the end of 3rd year. The biggest lie. Why? Because the chief changes every year. So how is one chief gonna know what to balance by the time they're in their 3rd year? No one knows. It's just, that's to keep you quiet. Oh, it is what it is. You signed up for it. This is residency. It'll balance by the end of 3rd year. No, it won't. Let's just make it fair now. And this is some spice. You'll find the people who are most vocal and oppositional to fairness are the ones who are getting the favoritism. This 80 hours per week is a sham because this is just what's on paper. You're staying late to do notes and to sign out and to talk to parents and someone critical came in. You're working well beyond this. And even if you are in violation, it's your fault. You're gonna get called in because it's your fault. I've been in meetings where people get yelled at saying, how hard is it, guys? You work over 80, you document less than 80. You could just say lie, it's much easier. And also it really depends on which state you're in because some states say you need 1 24-hour period off per week, and some say you need 1 24-hour shift off per week averaged over 4 weeks, which means they can make you work the first 24 days of a 28-day block, and then you get the last 4 days off of that block, and it's technically average 1 day off per week over 4 weeks. And so when I was working, I had this schedule. You work this schedule repeatedly. In intern year, you do this 6 times. And you would pray to God that you don't get them back to back, but some people do get them back to back. But in my special case, because God really wanted me to have a lot of ammunition of things to talk about, I worked it back to back to back. You could work a sandwich of like 24, 30 days straight and have no real day off. As long as it's averaged over 4 weeks, they could sandwich your day off in the beginning, your day off at the end, and you work everything in between. And that happened to me multiple times. By week 10 of those 12 weeks, I was so delirious. I don't ever want to do this again. I looked ahead in my schedule. I saw that they assigned me for, again, a back to back to back 3 blocks again. Messaged them very respectfully saying, y'all, this is what happened. Please, can someone find a way to fix? We can take a look at it. The most important phrase in all of healthcare leadership, if you would like to become a healthcare leader, you just have to say, we can take a look at it. Not we will. Not we will do something. Possibly an amorphous, non-specific, we can potentially, no commitment, take a look, not even fix, just perceive it at it. We can take a look at it. We can take a look at it. We can take a look at it. So it wasn't fixed. And then I got a phone call in December because interns need to have a senior supervising them for the first 6 months of residency because everyone wants to be off on Christmas. We were going to be short-staffed. And so what they did was I got a phone call from one of the program leaders and they said, hi, Peter. I said, hi. And they said, also, they always wait to call you when it's your day off. Like, I'm seeing you every single day. Why can't we just have these conversations when I'm on the clock? Why must you take time from my personal life? How little it is. They said, we just want to offer you the opportunity to run the entire pediatric unit by yourself as an intern. And the schedule's already out. I'm working with so-and-so. Right. You see, at this time, we are trying to navigate the schedule. You see, there's some difficulties you would never understand, of course. what is prompting this? And they shared with me, they revealed that there were some scheduling issues. Now, for some people that might be nerve-wracking, but I was excited by the challenge. And I said, I am happy to help. I want to help out. Before I say yes or no, let me think about it. Always say, let me think about it. Don't ever give an answer. I said, I would just like to bring up something else. I had emailed about the 3 months I'm doing back to back to back at the end of the year. And I'm just wondering if, Peter, I'm not calling about that. I know, I'm just calling, you're asking me for something and I want to help out. So I'm wondering, can you meet me halfway? Peter, I'm not looking for an exchange. I said, what? She said, I'm not looking for, you're looking for compensation, huh? I said, not really compensation. I mean, you need something and I need something too. Peter, I'm just looking to see if you will rise to the challenge. That's what was said to me. We don't want to hear you. We want to see if you will rise to the challenge. Before I could even respond, they said, and just so you know, if you don't do this, 8 other resident schedules are going to be moved around to fill the gap. So you will be responsible, this was said to me, you will be responsible for ruining 8 of your colleagues' schedules. Now that might work on some other people. And I said, ooh, girl, I see the subtext. You are flamingly nervous. It sounds like you all made a mistake with the schedule, which is what I'm alerting you to towards the end of the year. She was pushing and pushing, and I know I just said, don't ever give an answer, but she said, are you going to help or not? And I said, if you can move my schedule for the end of the year, I'm happy to help. And she said, fine, I'll find someone else. And she hung up on me. Program leadership. The most emotionally immature people have the highest places of leadership in healthcare.